Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fam.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Oh boy, got a little bit of Barry White going on this morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Java Cafe. We are going to be in for a quick shot this morning. I am under doctor's orders to rest, but I wanted to come in today and just check in for a few minutes with folks. One of the major things that is on my mind is what we are seeing that's going on to our brothers and sisters in Jamaica. That Hurricane Melissa is interesting. We are actually going to experience some of the outer bands, I believe, on the 30th, which is Thursday. I am not initiating any efforts here in the Java Cafe. I have been in touch with someone, Sister Shanta, who put up a post about reputable organizations, individuals, that efforts that we want to do here will get to people on the ground that really need them. And so I just told her a few minutes ago that once she gets that information, I will direct traffic to whoever she finds out is doing that work over in Jamaica. And so we definitely want to keep our Jamaican brothers and sisters there at home in prayer. And then don't be overbearing, but just, check in with your Jamaican brothers and sisters here that that have family members there. And just, check in on them, see if there are ways that you can support them emotionally. And also, once things get to a point where resources can be directed there, materials, physically, planes landing and things like that, we will share information once we find out about a reputable resource there. We will direct our traffic to there. In addition to that, I want to thank folks that responded yesterday in reference to a Java family member that mentioned the impact that they're going to feel for them and their children with this pending cut of SNAP benefits. And so thank you for everyone that reached out about that. We are not initiating any support, particularly this year, but when we are made aware and see things, we will do our best to try to support. It is Testimony Tuesday. I have a testimony this morning that I basically caught a urological type, not caught, but developed a urological type infection. And doctor was like, yeah, you need to take these and rest. And so I do see and realize that if you're listening, and even I think today's what, Tuesday, y'all, it's still having an impact. So I was advised to do a quick shot today because y'all know I struggle when I'm not on. So let's go in the Java Cafe and check in just very, very quickly with those that are here and say good morning. I have not said good morning in a while. Oh, wow. Okay, this is new. This pops up here now on every post, so I might as well say it. If you would like and are inclined to support the Java Cafe for, I believe, 99 cents a month, please consider subscribing there. Mama Java, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Sister Debbie, good morning. Good to see you in the room. Nisi, good morning. Good to see you in the room as well. Pastor Marion, good morning to you. Good to see you in the room. I haven't said this, I think, probably in a couple of weeks. Sharon Cornelius, how are you? Good to see you in the room this morning. Nicole, good morning. Good to see you in the room. I understand Mama Java has followed up with you. We got a couple of folks that reached out. You're good. Okay. Sister Dina, good morning, everyone. Please pray for all of those in Jamaica. As I just mentioned, I have been praying for 3 days now. Dina, we join you, and you, along with Sister Shanta, if you hear about reputable entities or orgs or individuals that are on the ground there, please let us know. And we'll direct that traffic again to that space. Dina, again, thank you for that. I appreciate it. All right, Nisi, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Um, I wanted to also remind us that a week out from today, we have the opportunity, and based on what's up, Clint, I forgot to check in with the folks over on Instagram. Clint, good morning. I think that is Sister Jeannie from Madison Park over on and you got to know you were going to be there for a while to put where you work in your name. Sister Jeannie does youth work over at Madison Park CDC. Good to see you in the room. Sister Ari, good morning to you. Good to see you in the room. Ari and Tashad, I owe you two some follow-up for the book club. I think if we look at starting that maybe sometime in December, we'll figure out a way to get maybe, folks will get the because I think we're going to start with Ari's book. And so I know I owe follow-up about that. And Four Corners Youth Workers Alliance. Good morning to you. She getting the bag. Sister Angelina, Boston Songstress is over on Instagram as well. Good morning to you. Brother Milton is in the room. Good morning to you, brother. Good to see you in the room. Tashad, good morning. Good to see you. Thank you for your patience. Y'all know I'm slow. I was thinking about after the holidays, Dina, but I was going to say January, but only thing is, deliveries, Christmas, books, stuff. I was thinking that, y'all get the books before Christmas. I don't know. I'm going to turn that over to Tashad and Ari, and we'll figure out. I'll have to do a registration form and get that information if folks are interested. So for those of you that are listening, we are starting the Java book club, and we have quite a few authors in the Java Cafe. And so we're going to start with one of them, Ari, who wrote a book about premenopausal. Ari, remind me of the book, please, and the name. And if you want to put the link on Facebook, do that as well. But the book club is coming. Also, another thing to keep in mind, we are currently curating an exclusive event called the Black Room. I am having an event that will be by invitation only, to come and shop and support 10 Black owned businesses that we are being very intentional about curating in a room the day after Thanksgiving for, Black Friday. And so we will be putting out that information as well as we're talking about dates. That information will be coming out. But before we get to Thanksgiving, good to see Sister Sandy in the room, and shout out to her for what she did, her and the church did recently in the community. I am being honored at an event on November 8th. I will share that information with you. But Sandy, good to see you in the room. And I think that's kind of it for dates. I owe you all follow up about the video coming out of the interview with Nia and I, for those of you that make it to the museum. And also, the interview I had with Chef Ting and Chef Kwasi over on the vineyard at Black Joy Kitchen. Let me tell y'all something. It's a dope interview, but the food was just crazy and amazing. Good morning, the Capo 1874. I can't see the full thumbnail to recognize who that is, but good to see you over in the Java Cafe. Speaking of one of the authors, there goes Leslie right there, one of our authors as well. Good to see you in the room. Ari's book is called Hormonal Glow Up, Love, Sex, and Survival. I don't know why when I see that title, I just start thinking about the mothers are going to be a part of the book club, but hormonal glow. Boom, love, sex, and survival. Ari, will the second book be from survival to thriving? I am going to put the link in the comments right now via Amazon. Hold on, why isn't this work? Come on. You know what? I don't have the patience this morning. Let me try to get the whole link. Please, if you are interested in being a part of the book club, and I believe that we are sort of looking at starting that in January. if you are interested in being part of the Java Book Club, this one it's for our sisters, especially with the topic of this first book. But I put the link to get the book in the comments. And if you're watching on the James page, I will put it on there as well. But please, one, go support one of our members and the author, here in the Java Cafe, who was Sister Ari. But if you're going to be a part of the book club, this is going to be the first book. I put it on James's page as well on Facebook. All right. Leslie, one of our other authors, as I mentioned, I won an award for my books. Are you right? Are you on the right track? And so if it's up to you, I don't want to dictate, but I'll make a suggestion that the second book would be Leslie's, and then y'all just go on from there. The one thing I would say is we have enough authors here in the Java Cafe that the Java Book Club can be Java Cafe authors, so that would be my one ask and suggestion. All right. Ari says she's trying to survive. We all are. And we are going to get to the point of thriving. We are. Even the mayor, preachers, a couple of people have said, former presidential candidate Kamala Harris, and others have said, and really kind of talking about this thing of SNAP, that, it may get a little worse before it gets better, but we're going to survive. And as Lakeisha said, I believe it was yesterday, Coach Law, that we have been through a lot more, and it doesn't disregard for what we're going through now, but not only is the trauma and everything we've been through in our DNA and blood, so is our Black joy. So is our creativity. So is our stick-to-itiveness. So is our ability to come together and raise a village. We can go 5 years not being a part of certain parts of the village or whatever. Catastrophe hits, and we're out there doing what we need to do. That's what we do as a people. And so we always want to keep that in mind. All right. Ari's over on Instagram, y'all, talking about I'm not an author. I'm claiming that. I'm not claiming that. I just told my story. Ari, you got a whole link on Instagram. I mean, see, I'm getting off of here. I tried to throw shade. You got a whole link on Amazon. All right. We are definitely with the quick shot today, so I can continue to rest. Please, again, keep our Jamaican brothers and sisters in prayer, those abroad, those that are on the island, and those that are here, friends and family of those that are there. Remember that Election Day is on next Tuesday. Please keep that in mind. And with that in mind, I am going to share a video with you right now to remind you about one of the candidates for which I suggest you consider giving.
Our strength is in our connections. Councilor Julia Mejia is a bridge builder, passionate about bringing all voices to the table. From neighborhood cleanups to cultural festivals, she fosters space where we can connect, collaborate, and celebrate our shared humanity. Join Julia Mejia in building a stronger, more united community.
My name is Malia Lazu, and I am chair of the We Are Different IE PAC. The We Are Different IE PAC approved and paid for this message.
We appreciate that message coming from the IE PAC. That is a paid placement here. But I will say that I stand by that commercial. And my suggestion to you is that on next Tuesday, and we're going to talk about this more over the next week, I got to reach out to Brother Carlos to see if he'll come and chat with us. But I'm going to get in trouble because I was supposed to do a quick shot, which is really about 15 minutes. Okay. So what we're going to do, I don't see Uncle Daddy is on here. What we're going to do is stay on here until 10:29. All right. Because then I don't want to mess with the 10:31, and then we go an hour, and I need to get off of here and get back to resting. I'm just going to keep it 100. There is a tradition in Boston Poly, particularly over in wards over in South Boston, Charlestown, and Neponset, that for decades have done what's called block voting. They have only voted for their candidates, which in most cases particularly have been white. that is a practice that has kept a stronghold. And I can, though not an expert, certainly not a novice, but from my experience, can also share with you that that is probably something that is being employed and pushed in Old Boston as we speak. And so it's something we've talked about the last couple of cycles, and I'm going to encourage you again. Block vote, black and brown Boston, block vote. Keep your votes, and I'm suggesting keep them to 3. Louisiana, Mejia, and Santana. And I'm going to keep it 100. Are there some concerns about Henry's assertiveness and being more aggressive and more visible and more engaged? Yeah, that's some of the feedback I got. However, first term candidate, and 2, there is a larger game, unfortunately, as some would describe it, at play. Old Boston understands and knows that with this mayor's reelection, progressive movement, how some define it, and there's a lot more progress that needs to be made in a lot more areas besides speed bumps, white poles and speed bumps and bike lanes. But with what's going on in this country, there has been a new emboldenedness, and I'll keep it 100. Somehow, Old South Boston groups, Old South Boston's group post, I guess it's a public group, but you still have to join, popped up in my feed. And there was a question asked. There was pictures of, the busing rallies, not protests. They framed them as rallies. And the question was posed, do you feel that Southie was changed? I made a mistake, controlled the comments, and went in and looked at some of the profiles of the people that one person said that effing judge changed our community forever, Judge Garrity, that made a decision that we would segregate schools here in Boston. I'm going to keep it short and pull it all back in. There is a larger agenda at play around this at-large election. We know that Erin Murphy is going to place. But what we can do is ensure that she does not place in the top 3. There are ramifications. There are mandates on them top 3 that we can pull and hold them accountable. And Henry is one. If we get him over the line, we're going to have to hold him on the line of accountability. Julia and Ruthie, they're going to want a top 3. They're 1, 2, or 3. The presumption is it's going to be Ruth C., Julia, and or Erin. However, if we do what we need to do and block vote, and I'm going to go ahead and say it, do not cast your vote for Erin Murphy or Frank Baker. There are some other black and brown candidates that different entities and people have endorsed. If you want to do that 4th vote for a black and brown candidate with whom, not just because they're black and brown, but with whom you share values, maybe that's a compromise between this new concept of block voting only. And Jimmy, I want to use my whole 4 votes. So first of all, you do whatever you want with your votes. Write your name in. But there's a bigger strategy of chess playing that's going on in Boston politics that is not checkers. And I got a little bit of extra energy. And so we have to be intentional about where we want Boston to go. If black and brown Boston delivers Ruth C., Julia, Santana, and we make sure that Baker doesn't place, Baker needs to be 6th or 7th. Because what we don't want is some shifting to go on in the council. He's 5th and he gets on to the council. There's a strategy to ensure that happens. Start telling your family and friends, would they consider voting for Louisiana, Mejia, and Santana? only, and or if they're going to use their fourth vote for the at-large, make sure it's a black or brown candidate. And not just black or brown, because all skin ain't kin. And a couple of these, Jesus. It's 10:25. We're going to get ready to wrap up. But just in also the vein of continuing to share information about this election on next Tuesday, just some more information to share with you. And we'll be right back with you.
Henry Santana knows that a quality education is the cornerstone of opportunity. He's a fierce advocate for our public schools, fighting for resources that ensure every child, regardless of their background, has access to the best teachers and a pathway to success. For a strong future for our kids, vote Henry Santana on November 4th.
My name is Malia Lazu, and I am chair of the We Are Different IE PAC. The We Are Different IE PAC approved and paid for this message.
So we'll be talking a lot more about next Tuesday very, very soon. So that's it for me this morning. It's 10:26. UC members, y'all get 30 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and continue to rest. And I believe that is it for this morning. All right. Thank you all for being here this morning. We will talk to everyone very, very soon. Tashad said that she already voted. Early voting, I believe, started on Saturday. It is still going on. I'm old school. I like to go on election day and roll my eyes at the people that are not 50 feet from the polling station. No, but it's just something about just going to vote on election day. I'm going to leave that right there. All right, folks, we will see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Tomorrow, we are going to talk about almost 2 weeks. Smiley, what's up, bro? We are going to talk about the event that happened at the Museum of Science 2 weeks ago. I can't believe it was 2 weeks ago, and we never did a real recap. I'm going to share some snippets of the video of the interview with Nia Grace and I for those that weren't able to make it. Please also, y'all, keep Miss Teresa in prayer. She's having surgery on Thursday. But tomorrow morning, we will share just some recaps, some pictures, and some video clips from the event on last Wednesday. All right, I'm going to go rest. Y'all have a great rest of your day, and we'll see.